Hello friends, you're welcome to the Key Point. If this is your first time you're joining us in our channel, please kindly hit on the red subscribe button below the video, and please don't forget to hit on the bell button beside the subscribe so you won't miss any of our videos. Thank you. President Muhammadu Buhari today hinted that the newly created Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development will oversee the administration's Special Intervention Programme. Buhari, who said this in his broadcast to the nation to mark the country's 59th independence anniversary, also stated that he had directed the release of 600 billion naira for capital project implementation from the 2019 budget in the next 3 months. Speaking on the Special Intervention Programme, which is under the supervision of the Office of the Vice President, Prof Yemi Osinbajo, the President stated that our ongoing 500 billion naira Special Intervention Programme continues to target vulnerable groups through the Homegrown School Feeding Programme, Government Economic Empowerment Programme, N500 Job Creation Programme, loans for traders and artisans, Conditional Cash Transfers to the poorest families, and Social Housing Scheme. To implement these impactful programs, we created the Ministry for Humanitarian Affairs, Disasters Management and Social Development, which shall consolidate and build on our achievement to date. To the beneficiaries of these programs, I want to reassure you that our commitment to social inclusion will also increase. He also said that the newly set up Economic Advisory Council will advise him on inclusive and sustainable macroeconomic, fiscal and monetary policies. He also said that as of June this year, total capital released from the 2018 budget stood at 1.74 trillion naira, to underscore the commitment of his administration to build infrastructure and take Nigerians out of poverty. The President noted that for change to happen, all Nigerians must support him and think like him to get the country from the old ways of doing things. On security, he said, in the last 4 years, we have combated the terrorist scourge of Boko Haram. We owe a debt of gratitude to our gallant men and women in arms, through whose effort we have been able to achieve the present result. We are also grateful to our neighbors and allies within the region and across the world who have supported us on this front. The capacity of our armed forces to defend our territory integrity continues to be enhanced by the acquisition of military hardware as well as continued improvement in the working conditions of our service men and women. The Ministry of Police Affairs has been resuscitated to oversee the development and implementation of strategies to enhance internal security. My recent assent to the Nigerian Police Trust Fund Act has created a legal framework to support our police with increased fiscal resources to enhance their law enforcement capability. We remain equally resolute in our effort to combat militant attacks on our oil and gas facilities in Niger Delta and accelerate the Ogoni clean-up to address long-standing environmental challenges in that region. The recent redeployment of the Niger Delta Development Commission from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation to the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs underscores our commitment to enhance the living standard of our communities in the Niger Delta through coordinated and appropriate programs. Speaking further, he said, this administration inherited a skewed economy where the oil sector comprised only 8% of gross domestic product but contributed 7% of government revenue and 90% foreign exchange earnings over the years. Past period of relatively high economic growth were driven by our reliance on oil sector revenues to finance our demand for imported goods and services. Regrettably, previous government abandoned the residual investment-driven non-oil sector, which constitute 40% of gross domestic product and comprised agriculture, livestock, agro-processing, art, entertainment, mining, and manufacturing activities that provide millions of jobs for able-bodied Nigerians and utilize locally available raw materials and labor for production. To address this imbalance, our commitment to achieving this economic satisfaction has been at the heart of our economic strategies under the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which I launched on the 5th of April 2017.